This episode is brought to you by Brittany Renner. Shout out to the Insta, Twitter, TikTok thought, zero accountability. I'm the victim, but I prey on athletes. Watch me pop this pussy for the IG. I'm not a side chick, but I have side chick antics, head ass. I'm just here to monologue about fuck social media and the opinions of people as I pride myself off my 4.5 million fans. Gold digging ass. I'm the realest ass independent bitch that don't take no bullshit from no one, but sometimes you'll find me crying on my timeline about people's comments. Light-skinned female. And remember, regardless of what anyone says, Brittany Renner, I'm your biggest fan. Now let's start the episode.
Our sins and woes. Our sins and woes. Our sins and woes.
Welcome to episode 59. Holy fucking shit, we're at 59. Welcome to episode 59 of the Our Sins and Woes podcast where a bunch of dumbass millennials talk about their dumbass opinions, their dumbass perspectives, their dumbass mistakes, and their dumbass complaints. I'm your host, Nelson. Thank you for joining me today. Shout out JPat Records.
Gang, gang.
Eric's gonna kick your ass. Eric be back next episode, I promise. Yeah, shout out JPat Records for today though. Also, this episode off break is gonna be called Gawk Gawk and Bad Acting. You don't understand why that's hilarious? It's because you're not a part of the fucking Patreon. Subscribe to the fucking Patreon. Shout out episode 58 Streets of Consciousness 2. That last hour was great. Subscribe to the YouTube. YouTube.com/YCC Entertainment Network. If you're not a subscriber, you hate me. And I'm fine with that. But subscribe and continue to hate me in my comment section after you like this episode. If you're interested in merch and you want one of those beautiful mugs we keep bitching about, one of these beautiful mugs, Zazzle.com/OurSensOfWoes. Follow us on all social media platforms at OurSensOfWoes or YCC Entertainment. Subscribe to the YouTube. Subscribe to the Patreon. And get on with all the other podcasts. Go ahead and just be a YCC philanthropist. It's only $15 a month, but I get it. That's pricey. Sometimes you don't want to pay $15 a month. So subscribe as low as $1 a month and get the full 2-hour episode in your ear holes. Simple as that. Only $1 a month. You niggas is paying for OnlyFans. I don't understand why you can't subscribe to Our Sins and Woes. Then, subscribe to the YouTube. Leave a like on this episode and say, damn, Eric, I know you're not there, but I still know your shorts are too tight. On this episode, after you like and subscribe. Well, I definitely already shouted out Brittany Renner.
Hard. A hard shout out to Brittany Renner.
But I am her biggest fan. I love the content she produces that allows me to produce content. Yeah, so I can definitely get the rest of my shout outs this episode. Sup, nigga? It's like, nah, I'm kidding. As far as shout outs, that's all I got. Let me go to introduce my guest for today, Nadina.
Oh, you told me to stay quiet, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll just wait patiently.
That's not what I said. I actually said shut the fuck up, but like.
Okay, yep. Got it.
How are you today, Queen?
Better than you, so I mean.
What do you mean? I'm fantastic.
I mean, are you?
Okay. Here's, before we get into the normal segments, here's my fucking issue with you off break.
I didn't ask.
And the audience did.
Didn't ask.
They always want to know what kind of smoke I have lined up for the kids. What was it? You need to send me a greeting first. Hi, I'm a human being.
Yeah, you do. You can't just be like, call me, period. Who do you think you are? Like, we are not on that kind of level where you can think you just say whatever you want to me.
I don't know if you heard, but the audience heard. Welcome to the Our Sins and Woes podcast. I'm your host, Nelson.
No, but when you talk to me, you need to make sure you be like, hey, how are you doing? Like,
you want me to ask you about your day before I give you a greeting on the phone?
You don't have to do all that. Just be like, hello.
You know what that sounds like? It sounds like one of them women, like, when I meet you on Tinder and we match, and then you be like, don't ask for my number yet. Get to know me first.
I mean, that's how you get to know. But you can't just be like, call me, period. You can't just do that. That's like coming out the gate being like, call me. And that's a demand. That's not a question. Especially if you want me to call you, that needs to be a question.
We're going to get back into later on this episode about like how Women say they want one thing and then they want something
No,
completely different.
I even gave you examples of what I wanted. I was very clear.
Sin of the day, woe of the week.
Roll it.
My sin of the day is I can't explain.
Your sin of the day are these freaking socks, and white socks, and your feet are on the table and they stink.
Oh. This is not roast session yet. That usually comes for the hour after the hour mark when I say bye to the free niggas, and then you can roast me. You don't roast me in front of the free niggas.
I can do what I want.
Okay. Sin of the day. Let's try this again. I can't explain racism to white people anymore because you said something. Subscribe to the fucking Patreon in the later half of episode 55. That I don't know if you said it on this episode. Can I say it? What you said about all white people?
Oh, 100%.
Okay. And I've embellished that a little bit more. That all white people either are racist or don't understand racism. And at this point, I can't be out in public places explaining racism to you anymore. Like, I just can't.
It's old. YouTube it. Google it.
Yeah, but then people hit you with the, I never realized it was that bad, and, like, now I'm starting to realize that, like, people, and, like, it just sounds, like, when you hear people talk about it, it's just like, nigga, I know.
Then ask your black friend that you're closest to. Am I the only black friend you have? Ask somebody that you're close to.
Yes, you're the black friend that people say when they say, I'm not racist, I have a black friend.
They need to be more diverse, and they need to make sure.
Which goes back to the statement.
Because I don't want to do it.
Because even if, like, this is my thing about a lot of people that say, I don't, or for the people that fall into the realm of I don't understand race, or they don't understand racism, is like, you might say, oh yeah, like, no, black people were treated bad. Black people are still treated bad. Still think it's gotten better for black people. Not doing this with you. But black people are still treated like shit. I was like, my issue is not with the blatantly racist people. My issue is with the old lady that clutches her purse whenever a nigga walks by.
Right.
When you're in the elevator and you grab your husband a little bit tighter, you're my problem.
Yeah.
Because you probably don't think you're being racist. Your excuse is that you're being cautious. But as a black man in America, I know if I was a white man that got on this elevator, you wouldn't be doing that.
Right.
So, and then it's like, I let somebody go on this long ass tangent the other day about, like, yeah, I never realized how bad it was. And that's why I think that, like, you know, there's schools trying to get rid of, I hate when I do my white girl voice. There's schools that's trying to get rid of, like, slavery out of textbooks and stuff like that. And I'm like, my issue isn't really about, like, oh, black people know your history, know where you come from and shit like that. I like history. I like slavery in the history books because I need white people to understand where they come from.
Yeah, and we can't know where we come from because everything's so, like, disproportionate and things, like, we don't actually understand, like, where we came from because we were sold everywhere. Like,
100%.
There's no way for us to actually be able to know except for, but history books is a whole other thing because that's also, like, I mean, yes, we have an idea about slavery, but, like,
I need you to get just the slightest bit of information because that is one of the key factors in helping you understand what racism is. If you can understand that black people got treated like this just for this, that will be just an inch a little, and you'll never know. You'll never 100% understand it because it's like me telling a guy, I mean, me as a guy telling a woman, I'm not going to touch that one. But me as a guy telling a woman how to maneuver through the streets. How could I ever know?
Right.
So I can't, like, you'll never.
Or how to DM her.
Oh, no, I know how to DM her. I definitely know how to DM her.
Call me, period, isn't a good DM. So.
I got what I wanted. Like I said, we'll touch on later how women say they want one thing and want something completely different. Stay tuned. But you'll never understand because you don't have to walk through those footsteps.
Right.
So the least bit of information is when you're diving into the history. And like you said, history is so muddled.
Yeah.
That so
like, white people have taken their own turn and done and, like, have a textbook. So, like, it has been, like, misconstrued in different ways for us. Like, yes, there's, like, a little bit of truth, but majority of it is not. Like, we celebrated Thanksgiving when we were younger, and we pretended to be Indians and had feathers on our head, and, like, some of us dressed as pilgrims, and now we get here and we're like, that is not okay.
You're right.
So, like, how much of the textbook can you trust? I mean, not saying that anything is...
Feather, not dot.
No.
Cancel button.
I was like, they're coming for you. They're coming for you.
Cancel culture is in.
We're off to a bad start. We're already up to a bad start. But yeah, no, you're right. Fuck, you threw off my train of thought when you said that, though.
You were saying just like the slightest bit of information
Yes.
is good for them.
Yes. And then I totally lost it. White people, stop trying to resonate with me in public because I can't keep explaining racism to you. I think that's really my end goal here in this whole conversation is I'm tired of having these conversations. I'm tired of listening to you. A lot of you white people, you sit up to me and you sit here and like you want to drown out. I mean, you want to drown my ears out with the same bullshit that I heard from the last white guy last week. Stop doing that. I'm so tired of these conversations. Yeah. You want to hear how I really feel about fucking racism? Tune into our Sense of Woes podcast. Tune into Protest and Riot podcast. Tune into Tatchers podcast. Tune into Blur Watch podcast. Tune into Sticks podcast. Shout out YC's Entertainment. But don't plug. But no, I'm tired of having those conversations in public. I've already said how I feel about racism in America.
So what are they coming up and asking you? Like what
it's not really they're asking me anything. They're telling me how they feel about racism in America, and then they're waiting for me to like respond. I'm at that point where I don't respond anymore.
Can you give me an actual example? Like tell me like you're like just hanging out at a bar and Joe Schmo comes and what does he say?
How did that conversation start? Because I can give you the example that I just experienced. But I'm trying to figure out how to I don't really know how the conversation started, to be honest. Because it doesn't take white people to roll into the victim blaming game. Right. That's really what it is. But it's somehow that conversation got started. She's basically like, yeah, I dated this black guy for like 5 years, and one time we were somewhere and he was messing with me, and she was like jokingly, she said, "Damn," she blurted it out because white people.
The N-word.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it was her boyfriend. She said that's how they joke. But a friend of hers heard that, and she was like, "I'm not okay with that."
No.
And she's over here like, "Well, I don't mean any ill malice behind it. Like, I've never been nothing but this."
She said the N-word or he said the N-word?
She said it to her black boyfriend.
How do you feel about that?
I don't care. I've very
You're
openly.
What's wrong with this country?
No, I'm not. Y'all are what's wrong with this country. Only if you say it.
No.
I'll tell you what. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what's wrong with people that use nigga. I use nigga, like, what did Quinn say? Nigga's my favorite word. It's a person, place, noun, thing, adjective, adverb. But I use nigga to everybody. Okay. Shout out to Ashley, a social media manager, but I call her nigga all the time. She hates that shit.
If you're a black man and you're saying it's very different, or if you're a black woman or...
Why?
Because it was used against us.
Because race determines whether you have certain privileges over a word, right?
I mean, white people can have other types of privileges. Why can't we just have one damn word?
Over a word? Name one word a white person has a privilege over. Give me one example.
They have privilege over stocks. They have privilege of having a DUI and not actually getting
I
charged
said over
for
a word.
DUI. They have... all we get is a word. Can we have that one word?
No.
That's all we get.
No.
That's all we get.
Privilege.
Privilege is ridiculous.
That's
white
the word they have privilege over.
Come on, Jeremy.
Can't let you do that. Because black men have privileges and black women have privileges in comparison to each other.
Yeah, but
so
they get to hold privilege.
So black people can use privilege. So give me one word.
We only
if you got a word, put it in the comment section below.
We only get
except if you're cute. I know you're going to put it in the Patreon comments. Shout out to you building up the Patreon community. But give me one word. That only white people have privilege to.
I don't have to give you a word because they have privilege to everything else.
You need an example to fight your battles. We're
going
to get back to examples later, too.
I have given you several examples.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. Literally, Ashley, I talked to Ashley.
You gave me.
She said she got pulled over. Listen to this. She got pulled over. This was a while ago. She got pulled over, and like the guy obviously knew she was drunk, and he was just like, okay, like.
Wow, this is a. Oh my God, you're just dropping names and putting their business out there like that.
I mean, she would say that openly.
All right.
We had this conversation about white privilege, and she was saying that like the cop was like, yeah, like just like drive safe home, but let somebody black or a person of color do that. They're going to jail.
I'm just asking for a word in equivalence to nigga.
Listen.
What's a word that only white people can say that black people should not be allowed to say?
Cracker.
Black people can't say crack. Black people say cracker more than white people.
I know, but that's technically their word.
No, it's not because we openly say it.
They can have and so do white people.
And white people don't casually call each other cracker.
And that's because we made it cool. Everything we do, white people want to do.
If we made what cool? We made nigga cool?
We made nigga cool, hip hop culture, everything cool.
Okay, just stay on nigga.
Okay.
We made nigga cool.
Yes.
Did white people make cracker cool?
No, that's why.
Okay.
That's why
so
they don't use
now
that.
we've
But
made
they can
nigga
have
cool,
that word.
and
If they
we
were
say
able
it
to
to
make
each
it
other.
cool, if they
We've
were
made
able,
it cool. We've made it cool.
Yes.
And now we
'cause
go
they
around
say, all
saying
my
it
black
casually.
friends say it. They're like, all my black friends say it like it. It's okay. It's cool.
Yes.
No, it's not cool.
Okay. Your argument was I'm a part of the problem, and I say no, I'm not. I say I'm a part of the solution.
No.
Everybody should casually be able to say nigga.
You've lost your mind.
If one person gets to use it as a term of endearment, why can't everybody?
Because
That's what Ashley
it
said to
wasn't-
me. She said, I don't like when you use that word to me because I can't say it to you in the way that you mean it to me.
I mean, at least you know. That's my girl.
That's my issue. Don't use the fucking word. Now, if you say, I don't say nigga, so I don't like when white people say nigga, I don't have a problem with it.
No.
I understand that's how you feel
I'm
about
okay with
the
you.
word.
I'm okay with
you
you
have
saying
an
it to white
issue
people. White
with
people having it come out
a
of their mouth, I'm
race
not cool.
saying a word that is borderline. That's an aspect of racism. You have an issue with
There's
one
a-
specific race saying a specific
Black
word.
people can't be racist. so
Okay,
make
that's
that
an
clear.
urban myth. That's
Black
just as
people cannot-
debunked as the
No.
fucking
We can
gender
be
wage gap.
stereotypical. We can be stereotypical, but we cannot, like, we could definitely have, like, some type of prejudice towards other races.
That is a
but
myth.
no. Black
Okay.
people cannot be racist. Racism means that we have to have the power over another race. Black people do not have that damn power.
Over white people?
None.
Okay, what about other races
Zero,
in
zilch.
America?
No.
Bullshit.
Which one?
The Hispanic community.
No.
Black people have way more power in America than the Hispanic community.
No.
You just had your first black president.
Okay.
You just got your first black vice president.
Okay.
Female vice president. When you think Julio gonna get a chance? When do you think you're gonna see a fucking president named Julio Consueves? You name me one time.
Why do you like this?
You name it to me. When you think you're gonna get that president? We don't have more power than the Hispanic community?
You were so that was very prejudiced of you to use the name Jose.
Oh, but I can be prejudiced, but not racist.
So if I would have said Lamont for black man
I would have corrected you and said Tyrone Johnson.
or Terrell, woo,
You good?
that was a good one.
I
That
told
was
you
the
I'm
only.
funny.
That was the only good one you've had all day.
All right. We're only 18 minutes into a 2-hour episode.
You've been practicing that one.
Ah,
You've been waiting to
He's trying my life. That's not. I'm tired of these motherfuckers coming on my fucking show and not watching shows prior to.
You've been waiting to use that one. That
'Kay.
was funny. Woo!
Black people have power. We might not overpower white people.
No.
But we have power.
Sure.
Which is why I say it's getting better for black people. I'm going
No.
to keep throwing that jab at you.
No.
No.
I don't think it's as bad because obviously, like,
That's what better means. Not as
But
bad
better
is equivalent to
but
better.
better is a real strong word. Like, better
I
is
didn't
a
say
real
it's
strong word.
great. It's still
better
shitty.
is still too much for
But
me.
what did I say before? A progressive landslide on the scale of shitty is still better.
But we can't say that for every black person on this planet. Like, we can't, or in the United States, excuse me, you can't say that. People in Compton would not say that just because.
People in Compton would say that things have not got better in Compton as opposed to 70 years ago. People in Compton would say that.
You should ask somebody in Compton.
Okay. Anyways, white people, stop trying to talk to me about racism in America, okay? Just read your history and understand that sometimes you guys were the fucking devil.
What do you respond when they're like, they tell you their little
I
story?
don't respond. That's what I'm saying. That's my issue.
You just
I'm numb
look at
to
them
it now.
blankly?
I'm
Like-
tired. Yes, I literally look at them like, why are you still talking to me? I can't have this conversation with you. You're waiting for me to respond. You want me to have a dialogue with you about this, and I'm telling you I'm tired of it. I'm not doing it anymore.
And these are random white people.
These are random white people. These are white people that I've known for a while, not that I consider my friends. Me and my white friends, we don't have conversations about that.
Yeah.
How many times did the homeboys talk to you about that?
Nah, we just make racist jokes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
But we're friends. We're allowed to do that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, whatever floats your boat.
So, and our white friends are like, I'm pretty sure the most derogatory thing my white friend has ever called me is girl.
Because they shouldn't say the N-word.
But that's what I'm saying. We don't have those kind of conversations. And I tell them that all the time, like in conversations, in relevance too. I say, I don't give a shit. I just don't speak for all black people in that matter. There are black people that have a problem with it. I don't care if you say nigga, because I throw it around casually as a motherfucker.
Yeah, but you shouldn't allow them to do it because what if
Then
they go
I would
somewhere
have to
else
stop
and they
saying
say,
it.
Then no, what if they go somewhere else and they're like, oh, like my friend Nelson said I could say, and then they get that speed.
Do as I do, not as I say.
You know, but you do say, don't go say this in front of other people. I know if I give a white person
as I say, not as I do.
yeah, if I give a white
As soon as you
person
said that, I
permission
realized,
to say
damn.
nigga,
You give them permission to, Jeremy.
oh, 100%.
Oh, you.
I
lost
tell them
your
they're
mind.
allowed to say it around
Especially
me. I just
for-
say
No.
you'll walk around the wrong person. I'll have a problem with it.
Yeah.
So
straight
now
up.
I'll tell my white friends, don't say it around her. She'll have a problem with it.
Yeah, I don't like this whole place.
But I'll say the moment she walks into the bathroom, you say, yo, this nigga won't leave me alone. And they'll be talking about you. And I'll laugh.
And I'll lose my shit.
Because I would say the same thing if you walk into the bathroom.
It's different.
Okay.
You guys are the problem. Jeremy,
That's my sin of the day.
Jeremy, I thought you were smarter than this. You
Oh
should
my
be making
God.
This decision.
That's my sin of the day. My will of the week.
That's 100% a sin.
You said it's 100% a sin?
100% a sin for letting
Oh,
white people
right.
say the N-word. That's insane to me. I won't get over that.
Okay. Will of the week. I'm tired of the prenup conversation. I'm tired of having to fight for prenups. Because, like, remember how on tune in to episode 55, Patreon exclusive. Remember how we had a conversation with the Sweats and Leggings podcast about the prenup, and she was like, if you make it big, at some point I'm helping you.
Yes.
Okay. So, I'm watching a video today, and the woman is making an argument, why do we need to get a prenup? The guy used the example of, if I start a company and it becomes a multi-million-dollar company, what do you think you deserve from that if we get divorced? And she said, well, you weren't just doing that by yourself. I was probably sitting there answering your phone calls, and he said, or he was like, I was answering your phone calls, I was doing this, that, and the third. He said, you know what, you're right. Let's use that as an example, your phone calls. If I'm starting my company and you're helping me out by using my phone calls and we get divorced, my payout to you in our divorce procedures would be the flat rate of the phone calls that you took over the year. You will make your paycheck. And she said, you're a shitty person. What if y'all have kids and started going all down this long tangent and shit? I'm tired of the prenup conversation because every time it's that women are looking for a retirement plan out of the women that argue these conversations. Not all women, obviously. The women that argue against these prenups and these conversations of what if you get rich? I helped you get rich. So then you're looking for something for the rest of your life because a lot of women don't realize that that's how alimony works. It's like something you're constantly going to keep getting. It's not like, hey, you get a flat rate when you divorce and you don't have to worry about anything else all the time. Or it's not like that rate is so minuscule where you're not taking half of something that you didn't really give half.
I mean, they could go to settlement and it could be like a big chunk.
Say what?
They can go into settlement and it could be like a big chunk, but continue.
But even the settlement process itself is like, did you earn?
I mean,
what-
continue with your thought. I'm going to hear the rest.
That was my next point. If it's not the alimony, then it's the settlement.
Right.
And then that settlement is like, okay, when a man's working on something, no woman should put her life on hold. If you have goals in your life, you should work on those goals. Because I'm going to keep running. I have stuff that I'm trying to achieve in life. So I would never put myself in a situation where a woman had to drop everything so that I could accomplish my goals.
Right.
Because I'm not going to drop everything because you want to accomplish yours. We're either both working on our goals together or not. So I don't see a situation in foresight, and I have not seen a situation in the past where a woman in today's society has dropped everything that she's doing to invest into financially. Or, I'll say financially because even putting in time, work hours, would still be considered financially.
I mean, she could physically be doing stuff. Like
That's what I
labor.
said, work hours.
I mean, but it could be like, just more than just her time. Continue. I'll let you go. I'll let you ride with it, and then I'll give my opinion.
Okay. Where you're putting enough work hours for that to turn into what would be a retirement plan.
What? Ask that question again. What?
I don't see a situation in today's society when women are getting together and you're putting enough work into somebody, especially the way women are moving right now. Women are the ultimate fucking, not bread chasers? Yeah. Grinders? Nah, that's gay. Literally. Women are too motivated in working for them to want to for them to put their life on a hold completely,
Right.
just because the man is working. So I don't see you getting. If your man turns into $1 million company, I don't think you've invested enough for you to get half of that.
I think that's hard to say because like you're not in that certain situation and you don't know what she's doing. So I guess it depends. So I have two questions for you. Would you sign a prenup? Would you make your wife sign a prenup?
Yes.
To which? Both.
Both.
Okay. So I don't know. I'm like indifferent about it. Like, do I want to sign a prenup? No. But like,
Why
would
not?
I make my husband do it? Sure. Like, I don't know. Like, I just.
Y'all heard that, right? Y'all heard that, right?
Do you want me to be transparent? Do you want me to be transparent?
No, I want you to be completely transparent. I just want to make sure y'all heard that.
I mean, I can't say whether or not I would or wouldn't, but
I
guess it depends
appreciate that you openly stood by your double standard.
Yes.
If there's one thing I'll get out of what you just said, I'll 100% support that.
Yes,
that
but
you
I can't
openly
say-
stood behind your double standard.
Yes, but I can't say that I wouldn't sign a prenup as well. Would I want to? No, of course. Nobody really wants to sign a prenup.
I want
but
to
like,
sign a prenup. You put your time and money into what you got, regardless of whether we were together or not. I would be under the assumption that whether we were together or not, you would have still got that. If I'm walking down that fucking aisle, you didn't ask me for a prenup before I asked you, I would almost be insulted. I would almost question walking down an aisle. I want you to have yours.
So I think about, like I just bought a house and I'm thinking about like when I have a man and when he does like things around the house, like let's say like I'm able to like, you know, profit off of this home later in a few years. And this man that I was with, like let's say that we like get married or whatever, but I bought the house alone, it's under my name, all that jazz. And he was able to elevate this home to make it to the expense that it is. Why doesn't he deserve some of the money?
What is elevate?
Like just making him
What is elevate?
So let's say changing out the floors, redoing the bathroom, redoing the kitchen, painting, like, you know, making the house more than what it's worth, more than what I bought it for.
Okay, raising the
value
value
price,
of the house.
yes, of course, yes.
Wouldn't you think that the appraisal amount before and after the renovations would be a sufficient amount? If he redid the floors
But think
and
about
redid the kitchen,
think about how much I saved. And
the appraisal amount,
but
the appraisal amount increase, wouldn't that be a sufficient amount? If your house was worth $350,000 and
Okay.
then he fixed it up and now you can sell it, or now it's worth $400,000, wouldn't you think that $50,000 would be a sufficient amount for a settlement?
it depends because it depends on how much you do. Because also, like, you have to remember how much I would save in expenses when it comes to like putting in the new floor, buying the stuff, paying for the labor, whatever else I may have needed. Like, sometimes I think
Throw
if
it on
you
the tally. If
If
it raised your property value from $350,000,
why wouldn't he deserve half? Because he wouldn't. I wouldn't have
half
been
of
able.
the house?
Why wouldn't he?
It cost $350,000. What do
I
you
mean,
mean?
but also you have to think about like I'm also not doing it as like, you know, we're getting divorced. Like, we're together. So like this is our money.
But you bought the house and it was in your name.
Yes, but also I wouldn't have been able to escalate it to this amount if I
To
didn't
an
have
extra
it.
$50,000.
I mean, it depends. I'm not in that situation, thankfully. So like we would have to see. But like, I don't know. I just feel like you need to be fair and you need to be.
That is fair. I'm giving you what you put into this house. If you alone raise the property, I mean the house value for $50,000.
So you think?
And I'm just using $50,000 because it's easy. Say you paid for all the equipment and you wanted to pay him labor fees. Yeah, we'll throw
okay,
$10,000
that's
on top
different.
of
That's
that.
different.
You paid for all the renovations, but he did the work. He did all the labor fees and raised your house $50,000. You pay him $10,000 for labors. You pay him $50,000 for the house increase.
Okay.
Why would you give him half? Why wouldn't you just? Give him that?
I'm just throwing it out there. Like, I don't think he deserves half, but I'm saying like maybe more than just like how much elevated to, because like, you know, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably would have paid who knows how much just to be able to like, you know, get the laborers in there, getting the equipment, getting the materials.
Well,
like,
let me tell you this.
having to tear down walls, put up walls.
Let me tell you this. It ain't worth half.
Yeah, it's not
Well, of course- no, of
$150,000
course not.
worth of work, I can tell you that
Of
much.
course not. I'm just saying, like, sometimes I think fair is fair. And so without having somebody to assist you and be able to do, never mind.
Remember how you say you didn't want to sound smart? You wanted to sound as dumb as you can be
Did
before
I?
we started recording?
I'm a brilliant idiot. I'm just kidding.
No, you're just an idiot.
No, I'm just saying.
To all my ladies, I don't care
wouldn't
how
do
much
half.
you cook, clean, dust, and all that shit. You ain't getting half I bought.
Of course, no. What I'm saying, so also you wouldn't have food on the table. Like I don't know. I completely understand, like you saying, like not half. I just threw that number out there, but I'm saying like there's a lot that women contribute in order for men to be the successful man that they are.
I agree, but if you bought the house. If you bought the house,
right.
This is under the assumption that you purchased this house and you signed this lease before this man was even in the picture.
Right.
You think you should give that man half?
No, I was just saying, just throwing.
Now let me ask you this:
50,000.
If he bought a house for $350,000 and you helped some shit to raise the property value to $40,000, okay.
I want half.
Hey,
I want half.
Well, if that's the case, like she's expecting what she's
I'm
gonna
gonna
get.
I want half. That's
no,
why I'm
she
trying to be
said
as
no
fair as possible.
just a second ago. She said no, and then she said I don't know, and then she said maybe, and she said I just think that's fair. Let me tell you, half is not fair.
Because if I was in the shoes, I would want half.
Baby, let's simplify it. You know how earlier I poured some of the bottle that you bought into your cup.
Yeah.
Imagine if I then turned around and was like, well, since I poured a little bit in there,
you can
I should drink half the cup.
You can have a
shot. Coming with the smoke.
No, not a shot. I want half of your cup. I poured some in there. I made that drink what it was.
So you can have more than what you poured then, because you have to give what you get. And if you're giving more, you should get more. If you only put a little, you only get a little.
That would make sense if he bought the drink.
You bought the whole bottle. What do you mean? I poured some of your bottle into your cup,
and
I want half.
If you give a little, you can get a little. I don't know. I like to be as fair as possible, so I just feel like if you give, you get. As much as you give, you should also get.
Okay. To all my ladies, be fair. Don't be stupid and fair.
I was just throwing that number out there, but fuck off.
Don't be stupid and fair, okay? I don't mind you being fair. Even though we all say all's fair in love and war. And men don't give a shit about being fair.
No, they don't. They definitely don't.
So.
That's why I would want fucking half.
So it's fair, half fair?
I don't care anymore. I want half. I want fucking half.
No, so you drove her from on the fence about it to now she's 100% on the half side.
Yes,
My God.
You pushed me harder. I want half.
She's like, now that I'm talking to you about it, fuck it, half all the time. I don't care what I put into it, bro.
As soon as I walk in the door, that's mine.
Yeah. All I did was let the dog out. I want half.
Yes, queen. Yes. Yes.
No, we're not promoting this. We're not promoting this.
My bad.
No. I will give you your worth of what you've done. I will take the time to do the math on how much labor you did. I will pay out the amount that you contributed to raising.
You sound cheap.
I'm not cheap.
You sound cheap.
If I bought the fucking house, I should be able to walk out the relationship with my fucking house.
Of course you would. But you still sound cheap.
Okay. Why do I have to sound cheap because I won't respond? Didn't I just say if a woman doesn't ask me to sign a prenup, I would be mad because I think you should keep what you came into the relationship with and what you gained in the relationship?
You just get mad for no reason. You'd like to be upset, huh?
Sometimes.
I can tell that. I see that.
But
I definitely get that vibe. You just like to be upset.
Okay, instead of attacking me right now, how about you answer my fucking question? We don't do deflecting over here, okay? God damn it.
Come on, therapy.
I think the housing thing is a little bit too broad. There's a lot of other arguments that can be made in that.
Like what?
Like, you bought the house, but if you asked me to move into the house, I left my place to come live with you.
Okay.
Ooh, I have a good question.
Now I'm causing you to save money in my house because I'm still paying the rent.
But now I have to go out and find another. What if I already have my own house? I sold that. I don't have that same value anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's why I said the housing thing. I feel like there's a lot of factors that go into that. Even when you talk about like doing renovations.
If you're moving in with your man and you're selling your house before you leave it.
Before you what?
Put it in if you're selling your house before you leave your house.
Okay.
Put it in a trust. It's not gonna last. Just make sure you can buy that house again or a new house equivalent to the same value.
Always have money in your back pocket. Always have money in your back pocket.
So you were saying?
Huh? No. Because I mean, the market's gonna change. That's what I'm saying. Like that same house that I sold could be more expensive. It could be less expensive.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay.
What I do know is I don't have the option of going back there no more because I moved in with you.
You don't care about that house that much.
How would you gonna tell him what he care about?
You don't care about that house that much. If that house had so much sentimental value, you wouldn't have left in the first place.
All right.
Dollar
Listen,
signs are sentimental value.
if you, okay. Anyways, if you leave that house and the market value goes up, part of your settlement. If you leave that house and the market value goes down, part of my settlement. I think that's fair.
Whatever you want. Your world, I'm just living in it.
I feel like that was a very fair statement.
I mean, it is fair. I mean, I feel like we're simplifying it a lot.
I know we're not.
There's a lot of factors.
No, we're not.
There's a lot of factors to go into.
You
like,
start
houses.
quantifying shit, and everybody keeps saying it's too hard because men are simple, and you don't understand. You're making complex situations out of something very simple. Money is the most simplest process on the fucking planet.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it?
Money is one of the most simplified. Your feelings is what's complex. Money is simple.
Your feelings are complex.
No, they're not. Because I'm a man. They're as
Okay,
simple as
don't
can
say
be.
that. Oh, I actually have a question speaking of that. So I actually heard this thing on Instagram the other day.
And that's my woe of the week.
All right.
Go
Fuck
ahead.
your woe of the week. So I heard this thing on Instagram, and they were saying, so let's say that there was this woman that lived in the projects, right? And she met this man that had a lot of money. She moved in with this man, and like something happened, wherever the case may be, and they separated. And she still wanted to make sure that she was living the same lavish lifestyle.
That's an argument women
As-
use all the time for
Do you-
child support.
I mean, okay, let's not do child support because child support is very different.
And for
But I'm s-
alimony.
And for alimony.
So,
Child support is just very easy to tackle because.
but I'm
women
saying
can't
they're
really
just a
make
boyfriend. They
justification
weren't
out of
married or anything. Like were just together. Let's
Wait.
say she cheated.
it. She wanted alimony for being a boyfriend.
No, I didn't say alimony. Jeremy did.
I was just saying,
Oh.
example.
She
and for
wa-
alimony.
I said they were just boyfriend girlfriend.
She wanted to go to court for this.
Listen.
Okay, all right, my bad.
Listening is fundamental. So there's this
And
woman.
for the episode 59 plug, say no, I'm just kidding. We're only 40 minutes. Go ahead.
So there's this woman. She moved into with her man. He had like a very lavish lifestyle. Let's say he had a penthouse in New York, whatever. So they broke up. Let's say she cheated and they broke up, or maybe he cheated, whatever the case may be. And she moves out. She still expected him to pay the like for her to have a penthouse, for her to live this lavish lifestyle. What do you guys think? What if you? But don't put yourself in the shoes that you are now. Let's say you're making.
Don't put myself in my shoes right now. How
No.
else-
You need to think about if you're making that kind of money. You need, you have so much money that you can afford to take care of her.
No, because then I'll look like a sucker to her new nigga. Because
How do you know she has a new man?
the only time a man.
Or
would
what
do-
if you
let
cheated
me-
on
let
her?
me- Then this is when the male ideology kicks in. Okay, so I'm gonna teach you. No, just okay. When a guy is willing to pay a woman's bills after they've been split up and they no longer live together, that's under the assumptions that he still has some kind of relevancy in her life.
Or he just makes that much money, he can afford it.
I'll let that one slide because he's just that balling. He
Okay.
can afford.
Let's say you can afford it.
Until-
What if she cheated? What if he
until-
cheated?
What if he cheated?
What if he cheated? And the reason that she has to move out is because she no longer wants to be with him.
If you move
would
out
do
because
it
you're
for-
mad I cheated on you, why would I continue to pay your bills?
What if
And
you
we're
do-
not married, you don't have my
What if
kid,
you do it
anything
for
like
a
that.
few months? Like, let's say you'd be like, okay, I'll do this for 6 months for you to get back on your feet. How about that?
Okay.
Would you do that?
If I had money like that, I can understand that.
Would you do that?
But,
You're not answering the question.
yes, I am. I would only do that as long as you don't have a new man and I don't have a new woman.
What does your new woman have to do with her getting her bills paid? You
are
cheated
no
on
longer,
her.
You are no longer my proximity, my priority, or my problem.
What about you?
I would pay her bills if she went back to the projects.
Because
I would
it's
pay
super
those
cheap.
project bills because those are the bills that she was paying
The whole point
beforehand.
was to keep her in this lavish lifestyle.
And
That was
hell
the-
no.
That was the whole question.
That's a perk of being in that lavish life. I feel like
That's a perk of being with me.
if the role
Yeah.
was reversed, if my girl was a big time breadwinner, I would do everything I had to do in order to stay in her good graces. I'd be like, you cheated? Don't do it again. I'd be on some shit like that, especially if I didn't want to go back to the projects. And vice versa. I feel like that's how it should work. Like, if that's what you want, I mean, sacrifices have to be made.
But this is a situation where she left.
If she left, that's what I'm saying. If she
I'm
left,
saying I gave you both. I give you both options. If he cheated or if she cheated.
Oh, if she cheated, I'm not paying for a fucking thing.
Yeah, no, I completely understand.
But if I cheated and got caught, the least I could do is help you get back on your feet. But I'm not letting you get back on your feet across the street from me.
yeah,
So where would you put her?
Back to the projects.
that's what I'm saying. That's where I found you at. Like, you want to get back on your feet. This is where you was at before I found
Back
you.
to the hood.
You don't want to. You can't. If I elevated your lifestyle, and you telling me you want to get back on your feet, like if I'm living up in the clouds, that's not back on your feet.
Nope.
I gotta remind you where the ground was. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bye, bitch.
Oh, dear.
That's wild, but that's funny. That's
There was a
facts.
conversation of that on Instagram, and I thought it was very interesting. I actually side on the fact that, like, no, like, that's not how this works. Like, unfortunately, that is part of the perk. Because if
But
the
what's
roles
fair?
were reversed, I would get him back on his feet for a second. I'm just kidding.
She's not gonna- yes.
Just kidding. No, that's one of those I feel like, oh, like, sorry, figure it out. Like, just like everybody else does. But, I mean, let me not say that. If I'm in love, I'm going to do some dumb shit. So, we all do.
I heard they sell rocks if you need to make some money.
I got a wingman in the project.
Well, actually, speaking of love, what's the dumbest thing you've done for love? Because I'd love to hear about homegirl.
Yeah, no, I can't
hear it.
do that on the free nigga version.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Should I write that down for later? You put it in your little notes?
We can touch on that. And we can touch on that to an extent.
What do you mean to an extent?
Like, you can't get too in pocket about it. You know, I've done some crazy shit for the sake of
Ooh.
love.
He can get in
Especially
trouble
'cause you act big and
legally.
bad.
Yeah.
Especially because you act big and bad. You be like, no.
I don't know.
let her go.
I've definitely simped. I've definitely simped to
Love to
the
hear. I'd
utmost
love-
extent. And I'm sugarcoating it by
Jeremy?
saying, like, simp. Oh, he knows.
No, I'm asking. Have you?
The craziest thing?
Have you simped for a woman?
Oh, no. Like, when I say simp, he's not talking about my scaling. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's
You
bad
be in
enough where
love,
I'm
love.
probably not talking about, like, some shit I probably should be saying on the Patreon. But I might get into it. Shout out to my exes.
Jeremy?
I can't think of anything absolutely crazy that I've done,
Yeah.
but I'm also, it's just not
Chill
that deep
dude.
for me.
Chill dude.
Yeah, like once you say we going our separate ways, I'm just like, all right, well, I
You've
gave it
never
a
been
good
in a
try.
toxic relationship.
Oh, I've been in a toxic relationship.
Okay. And you've never done anything crazy in your toxic relationship?
I mean,
Dude,
let's-
that's
the whole
assuming that
point of it
he's the
being toxic.
he's the toxic one in that relationship.
I mean, it takes two to tango.
No, it does not.
Yes, it does.
No, it does not.
There's a little bit of
All I
toxic-
have to do is
in order
stand
for
and
you
watch
to
you dance. What are you talking
no,
about?
sometimes when you stay in a toxic relationship, that's toxic enough.
I'm not even gonna sit up here and fake like I wasn't a toxic partner. I'm not even gonna say I wasn't 99.9%, but I mean, great. But I think also because I was a toxic one, like I was the one exuding the negative energy, so
Yeah.
I wasn't the one acting crazy.
So you were the one acting
I was not the one acting crazy. I was driving
Can
my
you
partner
stop trying to get
crazy.
us legally caught up on this free nigga version of the podcast, please?
I would drive my partner crazy. That's how I would
Got it.
respond.
I'd love. We have to. I want to hear about that later because men love to say that women are crazy, and my response is, "What are you doing to make her?"
No, niggas are crazy.
What are you
This
doing
is-
to make her crazy?
No. See, that's my fucking problem. Y'all want to blame all y'all crazy antics on us. No,
No,
see,
I can't blame every
this
single
is
one of them. But that is a question that you need to be asked.
See, and this is my problem with you females, okay? All right. Hit my cancel button before I say what I'm about to say.
Warning. Cancel culture is imminent.
You women think that y'all are crazy.
We are.
Y'all will tear up the fucking house. Y'all will destroy everything in the house if y'all catch y'all man in bed with another woman.
That's not the only reason I would tear up the house.
A nigga will kill you if he finds you in bed with another nigga.
There's women on here that will do that too.
You don't understand the extremities population.
I'm just saying
and
anything
the-
a man
the
can do, a woman can do,
majorities.
and vice versa.
No.
Yes.
I'm talking about the lengths that, like, the lengths a man will go through is ridiculous for the sake of, like how men will go over a situation that they'll call love. They will do shit you would have never thought that man could do. A lot of the time when y'all do crazy shit, that is not a surprise to us. We saw your crazy when we met you. But the extremities that a nigga will go through,
No,
that a man in general will go through, you would have never saw it.
no. I disagree.
Okay. I'm telling you, if you told me you cut your nigga, I'd be like, okay. If I told you some of the crazy shit I've done,
I believe it because you're crazy.
I'm not crazy.
You be wearing white socks and putting them on the table.
It's my house, nigga. How is that crazy?
That's crazy.
And they have great bottoms. Y'all gonna stop talking about my socks.
No. There.
Shout out to
Should have at
Ron.
least put black.
It's the fact that was her. That was the key indicator. That was the big red
That's
flag
it.
for her.
That's
She was
it.
like, white socks on the table. Hell no, this nigga through the roof crazy.
Wearing white socks on a podcast. Like, at least throw some black socks on.
Why? I hate black socks.
I can tell.
Okay. Anyways, you women y'all don't understand. I swear y'all don't understand fucking crazy.
No, you just ain't running into girls that are crazy enough. You ran into some crazy, but there are crazier out there. Believe me.
Okay, see, in that, you're right. I ain't ran into no crazy.
Because there's a show.
You're right.
There's
you're right.
a show.
You're right. I ain't ran into no crazy.
Of like Love Made Me Do It. It's like all women
because
or whatever.
I'm not attracted to crazy women because I can smell it on the first date. But I know many women that have dated me and would never think I'm crazy because I've never even hinted at it. And I've done some crazy shit for fucking love.
You know why? Because they don't see red flags.
No, of course not.
They're colorblind.
Yes.
Remember we had that conversation?
Yeah, we did have a conversation. Women can be colorblind. Stop doing that. It's just a lower percentage in comparison to men.
Okay.
Women can still be colorblind.
Sure.
But yeah, y'all don't see red flags.
No. Do you see red flags? Do you run or do you like just be like, fuck that red flag?
Oh, I was on a strict 3 red flag rule prior to dating my current girlfriend.
Will you stop interviewing my cameraman, please?
It's both of you.
No, it's...
He's more fun to talk to, sorry.
Oof. Her words, not mine.
Why do women get offended when you ask them, what do you bring to the table?
I guess they're not bringing enough to the table.
No, I mean, like, women get offended. Like, majority of women, they get pissed off when a man asks them, what do you bring to the table?
How do you say it? Because also the way that you say things
What
is...
the fuck does that matter? It's a goddamn question.
No,
What do you bring
it's
to the
not
table?
what said, it's how
Okay.
you say it sometimes.
So if we got in a relationship today, like what can you provide?
No, okay, that's fair. So, and like, am I just speaking off of mine?
Why
or
do
am I just
women
going
get
off-
mad when I say, yes,
Maybe they're not
you
bringing
don't
enough
speak
to
for
the
all women. I want to know
table.
what you...
Maybe they're just not bringing it to the table. I don't get offended by that question personally because I know I bring plenty to the table. But I feel like if I was a little insecure about what I'm bringing to the table, I'm still in the works of bringing something to the table. I can see myself getting offended about that.
Name 3 things you bring to the table.
I have my own house that I'm not splitting with anyone.
Under
That's a
any
good one.
circumstances ever, no
That was
matter
a
what they
good
do.
I have a great job. And I don't know. I just provide for my own. I'm on my grind.
We don't care about that.
The third one?
Yeah, we don't care about that.
What do you mean you don't care?
We
Don't
don't-
you want somebody else? You said earlier that you want somebody that's grinding with you.
What's that going to do for my relationship?
I mean, obviously, if I'm going to grind, you're going to grind. We're going to grind together on this
No,
relationship.
that's not you.
We're
bringing
gonna
something
work
to the
on this
table.
shit together.
Congratulations on fucking working a fucking 9 to 5. Like nobody. Good job on being an adult. That's
I
not
do more
bringing
than
anything
just,
to the table.
I do more than just work my 9 to 5. I have part-time jobs that I also am working
That's
on.
not bringing anything to the table.
How is that not bringing anything to the table? That shows my hustle and determination. A lot of people don't have that.
Like-
a lot of people cannot bring that to the table.
Your grind. Now, see, this is my issue. Like how we throw around this word. Like I'm grind. I'm on my purpose. I'm about my business. All this shit. What does that equivalent to? Like people say that, and then they go to work, and then they come home from work, and they go to the gym, and then they come home and they eat dinner and they go to bed.
No, I
and they
wanna
say I'm motivated.
No, I want to own my own dance studio. So I work my full-time job, and then I also teach in the afternoons from time to time. Well, I mean, I have a set schedule, obviously. I don't work every single afternoon because I'd be burnt out. But do you think I want to teach every single night or every other night or whatever? No. But, like, I want to own my own dance studio. So I am putting in the time and the work and the effort, even though I know how to dance. I know how to teach dance. I'm putting in the hours. I'm learning how to deal with different types of kids. I'm learning as much as I can from the studio directors I'm underneath so that I can own my own dance studio later on. That's my grind.
Eat my own foot.
Finally, I get him to shut up.
You gotta win on that one. You gotta win on that. I understand why that question doesn't affect you.
Right, I bring a lot to the table.
No, because women, you get what I'm saying though. Like
Oh, for
women will
sure.
say, "I'm on my
You would've-
grind," and all you do is go to work and you come home.
If you would have asked me that, even in college, I feel like at such a young age, like I mean, I could definitely see like if like let's say we met in like when I was in college, and I was like, oh, like I go to school for this, that, and the third, and you're like, okay, what else? I'd be like, you know what? I'd be like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Yo,
what else?
that cough was just.
Yeah, it was the
That's how
coffee
I
beat
would
too.
react to
The
it.
coffee beat too.
Yikes.
I'd be like, what do you mean what else? But I could definitely see how you would ask that. Like I would be very offended about that. But then now that I like
Now
look
you
at it,
actually built your table?
yeah.
So, and my issue is that with like women would say, I am the damn table. Like, well, what does your table consist of? You gave me 3 very good points. You have a great job, you have a homeowner, and that you are working towards furthering something that can live on past you.
Yeah.
Shit, that's what most of you women are asking for, but like we asking for you to meet
But
us
I
in
also
some fashion.
I like things to be fair. So I definitely am.
Yeah, I know. I was on her side too. I was right there with y'all. I promise you. I was like, yo, she hit me with 3 good points. I can't even argue this table shit, and she's about to fuck it up with her next stomp comment. Right?
I like things to be fair. So like, I want my man to be grinding. I want my man to come to the table with a bunch of things. I need to come to the table with a bunch of things as well. I can't just expect him to bring $100K a year and I'm bringing 30. We can't do that. That's not. I mean, I understand if you. And also, I have a goal and I like to make 6 figures very quickly, very soon. As much whatever I need to do, I am busting my ass to do that. If I unfortunately I can't say unfortunately, if I fall in love with a kindergarten teacher, then I got to pick up the slack. That's okay. That's something I'm cool with. But like, I cannot expect you to come up with this much hustle, this much grind without having the same energy.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not how that works, personally.
That's fair.
She didn't fuck it up.
Nah, she didn't fuck it up. She didn't fuck it up. How you feel about changing a relationship?
What has changed? Because we need to be specific. Like, are we like changing our gender? Are we changing our sexuality? Like that's
No,
something
nigga, like a nigga making changes to his lifestyle for you.
like what? I
don't
need
know, like
specifics.
you met him at the club and you hate that he goes out to the club too much, and now y'all dating. You want to start going out to the club.
Well, how old are we? Are we 65 and he's still going to the club? Are we? Because like, I like to go to the club.
If you
so
meeting
if we met
niggas at 65 at the club, we got a problem.
No, I'm saying like if let's say we're
You
30.
meet him at the club.
when we're
Y'all
when
start
we're
dating.
27.
He's still at the club.
How old are we? Because if we're still 27, I need to be up in there with him, or allow him to continue to go because we're still young. But if we met at 27, you're 65, and you're still going to the club. What is going on?
Y'all meet at 28 and y'all are now 31.
He's like, how often are we going to the club? Like, does he have a job there? Is he a DJ? Like, what is the situation?
He goes once a week
For what?
to go hang out with his homeboys at the club.
And he's 31. I don't know every week, but I'm not against like, because I am a huge advocate for making sure that you hang out with your friends. Because I'm gonna hang out with my girls. Can't nobody take me away from my girls because I'll go insane. Because y'all like men just don't get you like your girls get you. So like, and I obviously think it's the same for men. Like the jokes that you say with men, you can't always say with me. Like, I mean, I'm a little bit more mannish sometimes when it comes to jokes, so I'll think they're funny, but not every woman thinks that's funny. So like what you may say to Jeremy, he may think it's absolutely comical, but to me, I may not think that shit's funny. And there's a different atmosphere there. So why can't you hang out with your guys? Maybe not every week. We got shit we gotta do, but twice a month, I don't hate it. Maybe I'll just make sure to, if I hate being at home, I'll go hang out with the girls. I'll make sure to make more time to be like, hey, Fridays, he likes to go out. Let's go get wine. Let's go out to dinner.
You know the people that you talking against ain't gonna like your ass, right?
Who says that I'm talking against anyone? I'm just speaking from my perspective.
Against, like,
I'm talking
your
from my
ideology behind a lot of stuff right now is not what the predominant social media women.
And that's okay. Why can't I have a different perspective? That's what makes me me. That is okay.
Well, to be different out here. The fuck?
I'm not trying to be
You're
different.
disagreeing with every woman that's on social media right now.
I disagree. The girls and I would have that same conversation. Like
your friends.
Yes, and birds of a feather flock together. I do understand. But also,
Thoughts
like
of a feather thought too. And for the episode 59 plug of the week, don't worry, we got more because we never gotta get to this porn conversation. Because
is it that time?
yeah, it's almost that time. And you want to ask me about my ex and why I hate women? I don't really hate women, but we'll talk.
No,
about
you
it.
absolutely hate women. It's because you have a big booty.
What does that have to do with me hating women?
Because your ass is fatter than most girls you fuck. So life's hard for you.
Okay. And I would definitely want to talk about how, what did it say? Modern women care less about stability, more about convenience, and disguise it as standards. But we're going to go ahead and introduce our 59 plug.
Repeat that statement.
Modern women
Right.
care less about stability, more about convenience, and disguise it as standards. We'll get into it
Okay.
after I say bye to the free niggas. And also how women say what they want and not what they not what they really want. Okay, so for the episode 59 plug of the week, Jay is back. If you remember, it was episode 45 with Money Malk and Jay. Jay's back for another plug of the week with her amazing song. I hinted on this last time we did this, but Joe, shit, my bad. Money Malk and Joe. I just knew it started with a J, just couldn't remember what it was. But I talked about this song the last time we played a song by her, and that song was Men Ain't Shit because as an ain't shit nigga, I can relate to. I'm not really ain't shit. I just can vicariously
you
live
are.
that. Okay. And for the episode 59 plug of the week is Jay with an amazing song dedicated to her past father called Talking to My Anger. So make sure you check it out.
Been all on my own, trying to get the feeling of you gone. Up till dawn, writing about what's drawn me from you. What keeps me up till then, thinking of you. I just wanna feel you near me again. No longer feeling you're here with me till the end. Ignored all the signs till I couldn't, and forgot all the things that I shouldn't. Wouldn't have known how long this would last. 10 years seems like forever. What is peace when you're not here? Trapped between my heart and fear about who I was and how I feel. Finding myself throughout this mess, trying not to lose myself in all the stress. There's not much strength that I've got left, fighting every thought that comes to my head. Talking to my angel, can't you hear me cry through the day and night? Talking to my angel, can't hear me cry, just me one more night. Talking to my angel, talking to my angel. I'm running around in circles trying to find out where I'm going, wishing you were here to help me. So I pray that you hear me. So talking to my angel, talking to my angel. Never knew how hard it was to fly until I hit the ground. What's tossing out in the clouds, but you can't figure out how I managed. And after all this time, I'm still damaged. The years feel heavier than anything I've known. Where were you for every birthday and every single note? I wish I could feel you with me. I miss how every hug felt like home. I look just like you. People tell me that. I wish you knew how much I loved you then. What is peace when you're not here? Trapped between my heart and fear about who I was and how I feel. Finding myself throughout this mess, trying not to lose myself in all the stress. There's not much strength that I've got left, fighting every thought that comes to my head. Talking to my angel, can't go back in time. I Talking to my angel. Can't help but cry. Left me alone and talking to my angel. Talking to my angel. I'm running around in circles trying to find out where I'm going. Wishing you were here to help me. So I pray that you hear me. So talking to my angel. Talking to my angel. Talking to my angel. I'm running around in circles trying to find out where I'm going. Wishing you were here to help me. So I pray that you hear me.
That was Jay. Amazing voice. I love that girl's voice. And beautifully talented Jay. Bring us another dope track. Shout out to her. Shout out to her healing process. Shout out to her father. We love you. As always, you can find it in the playlist plug of the week. We're at like 17 songs, I think, right now. 3 more songs, and we're at the volume 3. Fucking shout out to everybody that's been a fucking plug of the week. I will name all of them when that'll be what, episode 50, 60, maybe around 64. Probably hit number 20. So I'll shout out everybody that's been a Patreon. I mean, that's everybody that's been a plug of the week. Because at some point on the Patreon exclusives, we always do unreleased tracks. So I'm going to do my 2 kicks and a hug. And I'm going to say bye to you free niggas. And me and her are going to get in some pretty pockets because she still thinks I hate women.
You do hate women.
Where's your microphone so far?
You do hate women.
I do not hate women.
Yes, you do.
Okay. 2 kicks and a hug. Shout out to the men that cheated on their significant others their entire life, but then went to church and found God and finally stopped cheating on their girlfriends. Can I get the damn...
I'm sorry.
Jesus.
I literally just talked about this with the girls before I came in here today, so that is very relevant. Continue.
Edit. Shout out to the men that have cheated on their significant others their entire life, but went to church and found God and finally stopped cheating on their girlfriends and only started sleeping with the married women from the church. Dumb bitches love y'all. Shout out to the women that still argue about the long ago debunked gender wage gap, but still refuse to do gender specific high paying jobs like a garbage man. Dumb niggas love y'all. Shout out to the black people that love their outer beauty. Even after centuries of hearing nothing but negative comments, have finally come to the progressive state to the point where they now love their natural looks. We love your nose, your lips, and you. With all that being said, contrary to popular belief in podcast energy, I really do love women.
No.
I've learned some of my greatest lessons from women in life. Their resiliency is unmatched in every way, shape, or form. Their ability to say no. And that has taught me that you can always see the second half of the show. You just got to get past the paywall. Peace, free niggas.